Our next guest is the breakout star of ABC's How to Get Away with Murder. Last year, he was an unlikely killer, and, spoiler alert, this season, he just shot Viola Davis.
What?
Please welcome Alfred Enoch.
Wow.
So welcome, welcome.
Goodness, yeah, thank you very much.
So you're obviously English.
My deepest, darkest secrets.
Yes,
are all
it is.
coming out.
So when did you move to Los Angeles? Or do you live in Los Angeles?
I don't really. I work in Los Angeles.
Oh, excellent.
That's
Where
the way
do
I
you
see it.
live?
I live in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which is the hottest restaurant town in the world right now.
Is that true?
Don't you think?
It's fantastic. You eat very well there.
I love to hear that. So you were born in England.
I was.
Of a mixed family, English and...
English and Brazilian. My mum's from Rio.
Hello, hello. From Rio?
Yeah, from
Oh,
Rio de Janeiro.
too bad you haven't ever lived anywhere sexy.
Wow, funny you should mention that.
So you, tell me. So you spent time in England and time in Brazil?
Yeah, time in Brazil. We would go and visit family when I was a kid, so I'd go to Brazil sort of every couple of years, really. And when I was 6, I ended up living there for a year, because my mum took a job in Salvador, which is up in the north.
I know exactly where it is.
Have you been?
Of course, I have a grocery store in Sao Paulo.
Really?
Yes.
Fantastic.
You
Is
should
that-
come
is
visit
that for
there.
real?
Why would I lie to you on TV?
I love it.
These people will call my BS in a minute. I love Brazil. I love the food. What I love the most about it, first of all, are the way Brazilian women speak English. Kind of drives me crazy. But just the culture of food. And when you go below the equator and you taste fruit in anywhere near the Amazon, it's like you never had fruit before.
Oh,
it
it's
is,
beautiful.
it is something else. It drives me crazy, which is why the Brazilians have great music, great culture, and are beautiful people in general. So, did you have any foods that you loved growing up?
Oh, yeah, lots. Especially growing up in Salvador, which has a very a lot of seafood.
Ah, la Bahia.
Oh,
it's
baianas. It's
dancing,
wonderful.
music, food. Well, that's what we're gonna make. We're gonna make a magnificent Brazilian dish called bobo de camarão.
Perfect.
Which is
Oh,
a
wait.
shrimp dish, and not really a curry, but kind of a spicy little thing. We're gonna serve it with manioc, a favorite tuber of the Brazilian culture.
Oh, it is.
We peel it, we boil it like a potato, and we just mash it up like that. And if you could do that while I'm going to start cooking the shrimp, and then we're gonna add some lime zest and some lime juice.
Right, roger that. Here I go.
All right? So the first thing I do is I start with some onions. I put a little olive oil and I put a little red palm oil in it, which gives you this great flavor. It's not a very complicated cooking, but it's simple and technically very easy to do. So keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about cooking a little exotic. It's not necessarily something that's really hard to do. It's just about buying the right ingredients and combining them the right way. So I have onions, I have green bell pepper, and I have these really spicy chilies, which in America sometimes we call Thai chilies, these little green long ones. But in South America, they call them ají or ají, and they have a great flavor. It's sweet, kind of like a habanero, but it doesn't really bother you. So tell us about this year's season of your murderous murder show.
The craziness.
Yes, tell me about it.
It's been fun. I mean, we've just finished shooting, so it starts
So
tonight.
can you tell us the whole darn thing? Or
Oh,
do you have
yeah.
to wait? We love having all the highlights in advance, if you don't mind. Is that a problem?
We know how secretive Shonda can be.
Oh, yeah, so I think I'm gonna err on the side of caution in that one.
All right.
Well, excuse me.
So was there any tricky stuff that happened this year on set or off set?
No, it's a pleasure. It
Yeah?
really is. It's a great job, and it's very, very, very nice people we all sort of work with. The cast are great, the crew are great, everyone in production. It makes it nice for me, you know.
So on a TV show like that, do you get the script a week before and you have to memorize the whole show? Like, how long does it take to shoot a show?
Ooh, we shoot usually in about 9-10 days.
A 1 hour show.
A 1 hour show.
So they hand you the script in the morning and you have to try to memorize it till then?
Thankfully, it's not quite that crazy.
Well, that's what perplexes me. I'm always trying to figure out how you guys get it all in order.
Right. Well, I start with a timeline.
Right.
Every episode, I sort of sit down and make a timeline so I know what my character's doing, where. Because, you know, we shoot it all out of sequence, so I might have a scene with someone I've had a sort of argument with the night before, and then we're in a group scene. I want to be aware of what's going on.
Right.
I might not have shot that already.
Oh, I love
so,
that.
yeah, that's just a little sort of boring technical thing.
No, that's not boring at all.
Were you surprised at the turn that your character took? Because you came in like really sweet and, you know, like this little humble cute little freshman in law school.
Oh, did you
And
go
then-
on?
Yes, you did. You did. And then you just got picked up a gun and just like, you know.
Well, you know, they say it's a transformative experience, isn't it, going to college? That's a bit of a drastic one. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to a certain extent. I mean, one of the cool things about the show, I think this was evident from the pilot, is the 2 time frame thing that we have.
Yes.
So you get to see sort of where the character's going and how the characters behave in a very different scenario. So that was something that appealed to me. So I sort of saw that that change was coming and, you know, it didn't perplex me, but it interested me. I like the idea that you can see characters in different situations behaving differently and you can get a sort of fuller picture of them. So, yeah, I rather like
Very
that.
cool. Sorry, you've
How am I
done a
doing
good
with
job
this?
with that. She's going to season it with salt, add a little lime juice.
Beautiful.
I added some crushed tomatoes. I added the shrimp. I'm going to add this shrimp stock. And when we come back, we're going to show you how to finish it with a little coconut milk and maybe a little samba pati. More with Alfred when we come back. Stay with us.
Christoph. What? No. No. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh my God. You shot her?
Welcome back to the show. That was our guest, Alfred Enoch, and How to Get Away with Murder. And it looks to me kind of like you're a murderer there, dude. Is there a problem
Oh,
there?
goodness. I won't give any spoilers.
Great,
Anyone
great, great.
Following those.
All right, so we're going to finish up our beautiful dish, bobo de camarão, or Brazilian shrimp stew inspired by the dishes you grew up with. What we're going to do to finish it is just take a little bit of coconut milk. And again, like Italian food, Brazilian food is just like it in that it's about balance. So a little bit of everything creates something that's better than something that feels like you got hit over the head. Now, you have now you live in London.
I do live in London, yeah.
So what are your favorite things to eat there?
Oh, I like a steak and ale pie.
A
I like
steak
a
and
pie
ale
and a
pie?
pie. That's very traditional.
You want to put
English
some
food.
spoons on
I
that?
would love to.
What about
That's
steak
my
and
point.
kidney pie?
Steak and kidney pie, quite like that.
Yeah?
I go with that, but I'm much more of a sort of steak and ale man myself.
I like that.
Um,
And do
so
you go to
that's what I
pubs or restaurants?
I like both.
Of course.
I don't discriminate, you know.
No?
I'm all inclusive.
I must say that sometimes in London, they're kind of fancy.
Right.
And the over fancy places kind of drive me a little bit crazy.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But
there
that
is a bit
said,
of that.
when you're a little posh in London, it's all
I
right.
love
So
all the great Indian food in London.
Oh, I know.
miraculous.
Singapore noodles. That's why I first had Singapore noodles with the vermicelli, like the really fine noodles.
Oh, yeah.
right, and the kind of yellow curry. that's
Yes,
on
you
it.
can never find it here. It's so
All right, so here we go.
Thank you. Look
We
at
take a
this.
little bit of cilantro. We take a squeeze of fresh lime.
Wonderful.
And tell me if you can hear the music in the back.
I can hear the Asher.
Oh, can we have some yuca?
Amazing. So this is it?
Oh, sorry.
What do you need? What do you need?
Yucca.
Yuca?
Oh, you guys got shorted on the yuca?
We got shorted on the yuca.
Dude, this yuca was made by Alfred Enoch. I don't know if you know that. It's probably worth $50 or $60 a scoop. All right, so here's what we do.
Fantastic.
Now we take a bite, and when your mouth is full, I ask you a question.
I can roll with that.
You could make it crazy.
Oh, that is great.
Slightly sweet,
That is-
not too spicy, right? But there's a little kiss of spice in that.
Oh, that's really great. That really tastes of Salvador. That's taking me back.
So good.
This is the real deal.
Well, this is a taste of one of the parts of your culture.
Right.
It's always nice to celebrate whatever you got in the background of your world, and that's what we really love to do here.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. That's Alfred and How to Get Away with Murder, which returns tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC.